Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news the ECB has cut back on its stimulus program. But first, the net worth of American households increased in the September quarter to $90.2 trillion, a 7% annualised rise from the June quarter as equity markets and house prices both rose together. Household borrowing rose at a 4% annual rate, down from the 4.3% growth rate in the second quarter of 2016. Net worth at this level puts it at about 50% more than the global GDP. This is why the American consumer is central to the health of the global economy. That net worth might be $90.2 trillion, and it is a very big number, but for perspective, the throwaway decimal point of 0.2 of a trillion is actually more than New Zealand's entire annual GDP. In Europe, the ECB trimmed back its asset buying program by €20 billion per month to the new level of €60 billion per month in a surprise move overnight. However, it promised extended stimulus and dismissed any talk of tapering the program away. It doesn't see inflation rising to even 1% in any of its forecasts, and it doesn't see growth rising to 2% anytime soon either. This is despite increasing their money supply by about 5% a year. China turned in some somewhat surprising trade data today. Exports are up almost 6%, while imports are up 13%. Both numbers are in yuan. So some of this was currency related. In a US dollar benchmark, exports only eked out a small rise, but it was their first rise since March. Imports are up 6.7%. Both beat analyst forecasts, especially the import data. Their trade surplus fell to $44.6 billion in November. On trade, maybe we shouldn't all assume the TPP is dead yet. It seems that the US President-elect is staffing his cabinet with supporters of the trade deal. Apparently you can say anything to get elected these days and then do something quite different when you do. And your supporters don't seem to care. The ex-head of the Australian Treasury is getting very frustrated with the decision-making of elected politicians in that country, or more precisely, the non-decision making. Public policy is slipping into a fiscal mess in Australia, he said, and there is an urgent need for bipartisan approaches to some major problems for the lucky country. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is back up to 2.39%. Oil prices are higher today too, now just over $51 a barrel for the US benchmark, while the Brent benchmark is now at $54 a barrel. The gold price is down today, however, now at $1,170 an ounce. And the New Zealand dollar is up at 71.7 US cents. On the cross rates, it's at 96.3 Aussie cents, and against the euro, up to 67.5 euro cents. The TWI is now up to 77.6, its highest in a month. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.